Why do we talk about Einstein's learning?
How many maximum queens we can place on a chessboard so that no one attack anyone? What is the IQ level of ChatGPT? Who is the governor of a state?
Governor, sir.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, sir.
Best friend?
Yeah.
Name? And you don't know the name of the CM.
The interviewers would start thinking that way that अच्छा इस बंदे का तो ना IQ फाड़ू होगा, चलो इसको हम पूछते हैं.
I have a power glass. Sell it to Dhravan sir. 20 seconds more.
Think about it like.
Either sell or quit. Pitch. 10 seconds.
Sir,
Okay, leave it.
I would say, sir, 4
Leave
or
it.
5.
Come in. Yes, please come in.
May I sit?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Proceed.
Okay, hi. Astitwa.
Yes.
You are from Chandigarh.
No, sir. Shimla.
Shimla. And university is Chandigarh.
Yes.
Chandigarh is capital of which state?
So it's not the capital. I would say it is a union territory and its capital divided with Punjab and Haryana.
So do you think it is feasible to have two states, single capital?
Yes, sir. Like at present, it is working and it's working good. But I would say it is very closer to Punjab rather than Haryana. And as the speed Haryana is growing, they can make Ghaziabad as the capital or any other Faridabad. They are growing at a good rate.
Okay, tell me something about yourself which is not in the CV.
Sir, I am a very passionate writer with a passion to search answers in a different way. I always believe with certain knowledge which I acquired on my journey, I will have different answers to the same question. I believe if I learn something from ancient civilization and something from neuroscience and then something from marine biology, I will get an answer which would be very different and an answer which hasn't been heard since at the start of human civilization, because I believe there is only one truth in the world and I want to be the first person to achieve it. Nice.
Okay, ma'am.
You have written about machine learning as your skill. What is machine learning and what do you do under it?
Machine learning in technical sense I would say is a method to get a machine or a computer to learn something in a reinforced manner where you teach it repeatedly a simple task like identifying a dog, in which you will feed the data of every possible dog with every possible animal, in which you will try to say yes to the picture of dogs and no to the picture of other animals, in which the machine will learn like if a new picture of a different breed is presented and it is able to find that it is a dog or it is not.
So you mean to say Siri and Alexa, are they machine learning?
In a sense I would say, because they are based on a very big large amount of data, and because of that data they are able to answer and do stuff.
But tell me here, you're talking about data that is fed into these and then the machine gives us the information.
Yes.
So is there a chance of this data getting biased?
Yes, ma'am. If because I would say there has been a case in ChatGPT. It was asked the question, who are the founders of United States of America? And it generated an image. That in that image there was no white man. And I would say because of the left-leaning liberal culture, I have no offense to them, but because of their propaganda and all tech giants being liberal, they have put that data that no white man should be portrayed in any of the data.
Yeah.
So because of that, the result they are getting is never a white person, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And it has happened already. And I would say there has been cases where I also asked, write me a joke about a man. And it will present a good joke, and it is a very good. But if you change anything other than a man, and it would say, no, I am not comfortable in doing that. And I would say that is the bad part. We need to work on that because it is highly biased on the
How
liberals.
can you solve it? I mean, if let's say somebody asks you for a solution, a suggestion to this, what you just spoke, what would it be?
Ma'am, I would say the best possible method is get two ChatGPTs. One for the liberal end, one for, let's say 3, one for the center and one for the right. And every time you ask a question, it presents 3 different answers based on right, left, and all possible whichever can be possible. So you will have a diverse perspective of different answers.
So what is right and left? You were just talking about right and
Ma'am,
left.
political ideologies.
So what is left?
Ma'am, left, I would say liberal point of view, like more diversity leaning and socialist leaning.
So, what was Jawaharlal Nehru
Ma'am,
as a leader?
I would say, if in the today's context, I would say it's center right. But if I am considering at the 100 years back, he was a proper left leaning, because I believe as
Why the left is
civilization.
called left and the right is called right?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Okay. Raman,
Okay.
over to you.
In terms of skills, you also mentioned problem solving. So, what type of problem did you solve?
So I try to solve puzzles of chess daily, at least 3, and in that my rating has also gone over 1700, which I would say respectable. Where above 2000s are grandmasters, and it has been a always knock of my leg. And I always dream of solving the Lego puzzles, because it's something I'm deeply passionate about, and it makes me like very excited to, like, I have accomplished something, and it is a great memory of mine, and I remember every single part of it, why I did this thing, and it just makes my brain run faster. And I seem to have heard somewhere, the more problems I will solve, the greater my IQ will be. And if possible, I would like to have my IQ over Einstein's.
What is
was-
Einstein's IQ?
Around 162, if I remember correctly.
Was that the highest in the world?
No, ma'am. There has been very many instances where over 200 has been achieved, and I believe how our countries, how our civilization is progressing, we will easily reach.
But why do we talk about Einstein's learning? I mean, there have been even women
Yes.
whose IQ has been greater than Einstein's. But when we talk about IQ, we only compare, we come up with this yardstick, Einstein's IQ.
Ma'am, I
Why?
say the impact of Einstein, the studies which in theory of relativity and his quantum theory of space-time, it is very fascinating. And the time he published those theories, it was not possible. And at present, we are only coming over why he did this. Oh, this was his psychology when he was writing. And it was very fascinating how he was able to construct those ideas without any computer, without any foreign help. And he was the
Okay,
first
so
one
you
to
like
do it.
solve puzzles.
Yes.
How many maximum queens we can place on a chessboard so that no one attack anyone?
No one attack anyone.
Maximum queens.
Sir, is it possible the other side?
You have a queens.
The other side, how much, like?
No, you
does he
have a queen.
pawns?
Any queens can attack any queens, irrespective of the color.
Yeah.
How many maximum queens you can place on a chessboard?
So my question is, the other side which is attacking, does he only have a king, or pawns are
No,
available?
you have only to put queens, nothing else. How many maximum queens you can put on a chessboard so that no one can attack anyone?
No one can attack anyone. Sir, I'm not able to comprehend the
What is the
question.
movement of the queens?
So it is similar to add on rook and bishops. It can go diagonally and it can go
So
straight.
if I put on the A1,
Yes.
can move to the all A verticals and the
Or
diagonals.
numbers with the
So if I can put one A1, we cannot put the second queens on the A2 because they are going to attack each other.
Oh, yes.
So how many maximum queens we can put?
Sir, I would like to believe 6 or 7.
Believe me, you like
So
to solve
I'm not
puzzles.
sure about this.
Who is the queen of
You
Indian
can
political
take time,
system?
around 1 minute too. You can take time
Yeah. Sir, about the previous question or this question?
on this chess question.
Okay, leave it.
I would say, sir, 4
Leave
or
it, leave
5.
it, leave it. No. So can you tell me who is the queen? If the Indian economy, Indian political system is the chessboard,
Yeah.
which person is the king, queen, rook, bishop, and the pawn?
Sir, king, I would say Narendra Modi. In economics or the whole,
Complete with a reasoning of the one-liner.
as Narendra Modi, sir, is the prime minister, I would believe he is the king. For the queen, I would say Nirmala Sitharaman, because she's the financial minister, which is very important. For the rook, I would believe Nitin Gadkari. And for
Where is
bishop,
Mr. President?
sir, the society we live in and how our democracy has been divided, I believe prime
That's
minister.
the king, na? There's no work of the president like the king.
But sir, in more like the person who
Okay, what is the IQ level of ChatGPT? If ChatGPT is the person,
Sir, in terms IQ, I would not say it has an IQ, because it is not able to think
I'm just
properly.
saying,
It
no,
can
it's a
only
person.
remember.
It's a person. You have to work on what would be the IQ?
If ChatGPT is a person,
Yeah.
Sir, I would believe 40 or 30.
And he can crack the UPSC.
No, sir, but it is, sir, I will not be sure it can crack the UPSC.
Why not? It is was the news. What is the difference between the AI and ML?
Sir, AI is more in, it has been a part of ML. It is not, ML is a
No,
broader
no.
term.
What are the different things?
So,
How the ChatGPT works?
so ChatGPT is it has a bigger database, and
What
from
are the
that,
tokens in the ChatGPT? Define the tokens.
so I'm not sure about
You have a multiple IIMs,
it. Yes.
rank 5, top 5, with their states.
Sir, the calls I have received or like
You are
generally?
expecting the calls, if you say.
Sir, I would like to say IMK at the first, then IIM, then Shillong, then Udaipur and Trichy.
Okay. Who is the governor of a state?
Governor, sir, sir, I'm not sure.
You are from the
Himachal.
Himachal.
Yes.
Name all the states and the countries which are touching the Himachal Pradesh
State, sir, Jammu and Kashmir.
with the CM.
CM, sir, I would be. So I'm not
Do
very.
you have a girlfriend?
No, sir.
Best friend?
Yeah.
Name?
Shashank Kaushal.
And you don't know the name of the CM.
Yes, sir.
And you
These
believe
two are
to be the
two
learned, the
different.
first one, be the first one.
So I am more on the
Only
pursuing.
aspiration
Okay,
won't
who's
help.
the
No?
VP of the country?
Ma'am, I'm not very sure about it.
Okay. Who's the president?
Ma'am, Draupadi Murmu. Ma'am.
Okay. Now, if I ask you to speak on a particular topic for, let's say, 60 seconds, will you be able to do that?
Ma'am, it would highly depend on the topic.
Let me give you a very generic topic. Chalo, speak on something like democracy is just an eyewash in today's era.
Ma'am, would it be should I be on a simple perspective or both perspective?
You can take whatever. I just want you to speak on it for 60 seconds. And once you're ready, I'll start the timer. Democracy is just an eyewash in today's era. Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Yes, ma'am. I would be
All
comfortable.
right, off you go.
Democracy, I would like to believe the biggest democracy is India. But in this case, I would be focusing on USA. Why democracy is not a whitewash? Because the latest election of US president has clearly shown how democracy has prevailed, how Donald Trump won the popular vote and was able to convert all the 7 swinging states to red, and there was case he was converting California to red too. And I believe that is the spirit of democracy. And after COVID, how the American people they had a revolution mentality because they wanted to subvert the mentality of that everything is controlled, even if something is shown on social media, it is not right. How the media is portraying your government, how media is making you consume the content is not always right. Sometimes it was being played like assassination attempt or not.
Time's up. Cool. Okay, over to you, Raman sir.
In skills, you also mentioned teamwork.
Yes.
Can you give any example where you show your this skills?
So throughout my graduation, I have done 8 projects, 8 different projects with I would say every time it was a different team, and the working and the learning in each project was different. At some project, we as a team were working to get a better mentor, sometimes a better content. Because I would like to quote an example. In the latest, my last year project, last semester project, we were working on a machine learning project, major focus on lung pneumonia detection. And
Okay.
it was a very foreign project to us. We were not very comfortable with lung. It was very medical terms. So by chance, I remembered like last to last semester, in our university we had to always be every week be like show our data to our mentor, like in this week we have done this. In that I remembered a guy was telling about pneumonia detection, and I found that guy on I with my team found him in our canteen. And and that is the teamwork I would say, like and I can't remember any other example I would like to quote.
It's like your skills now.
Yeah.
So, is there any more example where you show the team work? Where you push the other members of the team to work together and like kind of.
So, we usually have a 5-person team, and in those we had 2 members who are very introverted in nature. So they were always pushing me or my other friend that we are the one to speak out. We always need to speak out because we were better than them. So they were always pushing us. But sometimes I used to just be like, hey, can you please elaborate on that in the like main things like that made them in pressure, but it was worth it because they were learning something I believe which will be throughout their life. It is a pressure situation.
Okay, so the last question. We both are wearing the glasses. I have a power glass. Sell it to Dhruvan sir. You have just 1 minute ka time.
So power glasses, should I sell or
This glass, power glass, to Raman sir. You're losing time.
Oh, sir, I believe you are a great teacher and you have been working so hard throughout on your laptop. So
This is power glass. This is not normal glass.
Hmm.
20 seconds more.
So I'm not able to like think about it like
Either sell or quit the MBA. Pitch. 10 seconds.
So I'm not really. I can't think of a reason, like because I think.
Okay, thank you. I'm done.
You're from Shimla.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are into writing.
Yeah,
I can see that. How passionate are you about writing?
ma'am. I have written over 150,000 words.
Seriously?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what's the topic?
Ma'am, can I bring out the context first?
Yeah.
Because ma'am, writing is very tough, I believe, because the perspective to construct a world around it, and for no voice, it is impossible. How you will think like the physics of the world also. So at that time fanfic was trending, like fan fiction, like you have a movie or anime or some kind and you write on it, because in that you will learn to write different perspective. If you have learned different perspective, then you can move to world making and stuff. So I chose Pokemon, like since my kid days, like since I was 4, I have been watching it very passionately. It has been a big part of my life. So I was like, I need to do it, and this is the good way, and I wanted my ideas to be in that story.
But do you ever face writer's block?
Yes, ma'am, it was a big block because writing 100 chapters was my limit at that
Okay.
time. Because I was dreaming to write around 2,000 chapters. Because that level passion, 2,000, I believe it was a work of 3 years. But the problem I faced was like after 100 chapters, I was not able to recollect every single character of my story.
Okay. There is a great writer from Shimla. You know who?
The person who wrote the horror stories of Shimla Hills. I'm not able to remember the name, but I know I have read those stories. And one story of 103 Tunnel, and it is very near my home.
Okay. Raman, over to you and then we can wrap up.
No, nothing. Just last point that you mentioned workout in your interest. So I'm not able to see the workout things.
They have, I would say, because of 2 things. One time when I was in a proper growth, I got dengue, and after that all work all muscle I met had vanished, and after that my parents didn't let me for 2-3 months. After that my parents are very overprotective for me, and after that it was my last year, so I thought like I won't be living in the same colony, same livelihood. I should let loose a bit. And after that I started my CAT prep, and I always believe I want to focus on only one thing. The gym at that time I used to go was for more socializing and getting my mental state to be happy and always productive, not be and because sometimes getting low in marks was very depressing.
What do you think? Which matter a lot? Diet or workout?
Diet, only diet.
and on social media sometimes the YouTubers and all, they provide some diet chart. Do you think this is useful?
No, sir, because it is very subjective to our body. Like, because I have seen many cases like some bodies can't digest protein because of their physiology, and you are saying always need to eat protein. That can't happen, and it is very varied on your social standard. Because in Indians, logically. Indians majority have eaten vegetarian, and it is very it's with a lot of carbs, and so that diet a foreign person can't eat because their body isn't meant. But through evolution, I have heard a study. I am very not sure about it. Who sponsored it or was it sponsored? It was said like Indian body has found mechanism to digest carbs and change them into proteins, which would be healthier for us.
Okay, nice. Done from my
So
side.
I think, yeah, that's all. Anything from your end,
No,
sir,
thanks.
to wrap it up? That's all. Thank you. We'll let you know. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, so Astitwa, we spoke to you
Yes.
for a length of time, and fine, we liked you. However, there are a few do's and don'ts. So I would like to start with that point. When you came in, you had asked our permission, but then when you came in, you did not greet anybody. That's something you have to be careful about. Okay, you asked permission whether I can sit, that's fine. These are very fine points, but the panel does pay attention to such things. So having said that, let me move on to the content and all, whatever you spoke. When you were speaking, हमने पूछा था आपसे, like, tell me about yourself वाला कुछ एक points you were supposed to speak on. So you took it you took it towards your writing. Okay, now Amir sir here has a point which is valid, that if you are trying to focus too much on your writing, it did not come out with the right amount of passion. You were just focusing on, like, yes, I have written these many pages. You were talking on quantity. So even ChatGPT can do these days. Like, what's the big deal about writing? Earlier, we used to pride ourselves on writing essays, on being able to write this, write that. But okay, fine, today it doesn't hold much relevance. A student can just take it out from ChatGPT. So if you are trying to drive the interview in your favor by speaking about your writing, there has to be some other angle to it. You have to speak about it passionately. And then Raman sir has a point here that in the beginning you spoke about Einstein and all, and IQ. So we all felt, or any listener would feel, that you are kind of keen on IQ. That means even you have that kind of a level. So maybe the interviewers would start thinking that way, that अच्छा इस बंदे का तो ना IQ फाड़ू होगा, चलो इसको हम पूछते हैं. And then Amir sir had asked you a few technical questions. So, he had asked you about the states neighboring your state. Anybody and everybody coming for an interview should know that. They can ask you any kind of question related to your state. So you not knowing about the states, the neighboring states, is an absolute no-no. चलो उनका CM नहीं पता है, for a moment I can understand that. But your own CM, your governor, these two, the country's prime minister, the country's president, the country's VP, the country's finance minister, 6 to 7 चीज़ें ऐसी होती हैं जो you have to learn and go for an interview. So you were unprepared there. Then technically थोड़ा सा और वो करना पड़ेगा, because आपका अगर इसमें जैसे CV में you have written about chess, or you mentioned, I think, 1700 ranking or something about chess, right? So you play with whom? The computer.
No, real players.
Real players. But if you play chess at such a level, don't you think you should have a little deep knowledge, like kind of about chess? I mean, if I ask you about castling or any of the other techniques, would you be able to explain that?
Yes.
You are prepared for that. Okay. So Amir sir said one point, that academically he feels that you're a little weak. I mean, you have to brush up on those things. See, the point goes here, and it's a very fair thing, that if you have written certain things on your CV, like here personal projects, you've written emotional recognition, pulmonary disease, whatever goes on your CV, you have to know everything about it. It can be asked in various ways. Okay. So I think that's about it, right, Raman? So,
Right.
Anything? Yeah.
I was expecting EQ part also, because this is your projects. IQ बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, तो सर emotional quotient होता ना, that would be fun. Since you are 2024 pass out, तो academics काम करो, AIML, ChatGPT, tokens पता होनी चाहिए. You have the cap, तो random GK आ सकता है. Definitely, you're from the Himachal Pradesh, the government, the BJP government, नॉन बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट, सब पता होना चाहिए. रैंडम क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे. बाकी तो मुझको यही लगा ना कि राइटिंग की तरफ आप ले जाना चाह रहे हो. अगर मैं नहीं जाना चाहूँ तो व्हाट नेक्स्ट. इंटरव्यू पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा. चेस पे कुछ पजल्स खोज लो आप, बिकॉज इन द चेस देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, लॉट ऑफ पजल्स.
And even that writing part, as I said, when I asked you, you're a writer, you were very happy about it. Yes, I have written so much. But then that is not what impresses me. ChatGPT writes so much. What's the big deal?
And at the last you said
Means
EU
writing is
forget.
basically a creative thing. It's not about quantity. इतने pages and all. Something creative. अगर आप mention करते तो.
So, I mean, if I'm asking you about your writing, you have to come up straight away to the point. I was confused. I was lost when you were answering that answer. I didn't know कहाँ पे क्या है. It was a bit too long. You were not able to put forward your point crisply क्योंकि start with this, okay, I have written it on this. I mean, you asked me, can I go into the context? I said, okay, yes. But then that is not needed. When I ask you about your writing, what is it about? So you have to start with the crux. What is it about? How did it come to me? How was I inspired? Okay. So talk in points. That is, I think, important. So the interviewers won't be lost in your answer. Okay. I think that's about it.
इंटरव्यू में नो नहीं बोलते. लाइक यू सेड ना कि आफ्टर राइटिंग 100 ऑफ द चैप्टर्स यू वर मिसिंग द कैरेक्टर्स पार्ट. आप खुद ही गुम हो जाओगे तो हम लोग कहाँ जाएंगे. आई वुड लव कि यू हैव रिटन 100 ऑफ द राइट स्टोरीज ऑफ द 100 वर्ड्स. बीच में कल्चर चला था कि 100 वर्ड स्टोरीज, तो वो ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट होता है. 1/2 राइटिंग को तो मैं ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट नहीं करूँगा. दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू सेल इन द इंटरव्यू. जो आपका 100 चैप्टर है वो भी इनकम्प्लीट है या कहीं पब्लिश नहीं हुआ है, तो मैं इसे बाई नहीं करूँगा. एंड सबसे बुरा था, यू आर नॉट एबल टू सेल द स्पेक्स. तो कुछ तो आइडिया होना चाहिए था, कुछ तो बोलना चाहिए था.
So, उसमें वो हो गया था कि अगर नॉर्मल ग्लासेस होते तो
नहीं, इसी को बेचना है. इट्स जस्ट लाइक शेयरिंग कॉम टू अ पर्सन विदाउट हेयर. कैसे बेचोगे इसको आप. वी आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर कि आप कितने से सेल्स पर्सन हो, हाउ क्रिएटिव यू आर, बिकॉज राइटर हो आप. इन द राइटिंग हम क्या करते हैं ना, व्हेन वी रीड सम ऑफ द नॉवेल्स इन द बुक्स, पूरा इन्वायरमेंट क्रिएट हो जाता है. तो आई जस्ट वांट कि कैन यू सेल, कैन यू राइट समथिंग. आप फिक्शनल लिखते हो या नॉन फिक्शनल लिखते हो.
फिक्शनल.
हाँ, तो कुछ तो क्रिएट कर लेते हैं.
I think that's it. Yeah. Okay.
थैंक यू.
Thank you.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.